Today's video is going to be all about off-market deal origination, proprietary deals, and M&A. It's the same proven framework that my buy-side firm has used to drive over 355 million in syndicated transaction volume, the same proven framework that we've used to partner with over 100 private equity firms, and the same proven formula that we've used to scale over 15 investment banks in the lower middle market last year. What I love about our systems, what we do is we help you win deals regardless of the market conditions, the industry competition, or the deal size. So without further ado, let's dive in and talk about how you can at your firm generate some proprietary off-market deals that match your exact criteria. So to start off, I wanted to talk about the traditional method. In today's hyper-competitive market, it seems like it's getting more competitive every day, and a super challenging market to win deals too, right? A very slow market. Relying on traditional methods of, just reaching out to that Rolodex of connections, hoping for referrals, or hoping that, a business owner reaches out to you to sell no longer works. We like to be proactive and really develop and implement a business development movement into your business. What does that mean? Well, that means, proactively engaging all businesses that meet your criteria to start the conversation, right? So instead of relying on, inbound prospects coming to you, it's really taking a hyper-focused approach that's highly automatable, highly scalable, highly personalized to drive opportunities for your firm. So that's what we're going to be talking about in, today's video. Regardless of market conditions, regardless of industry competition, regardless of deal size, this works. So super excited to dive into it and give you a full comprehensive guide of exactly how we do this and how we've been helping our partners do it as well. So before diving into the specific strategies, I wanted to overview the exact process. So we like to take a 3 to 4 pronged approach to driving opportunities, and winning those mandates. So step 1 is going to be building that account list. How can you ensure that you're talking to and reaching every single business owner that fits your key criteria, right? Again, it's that aggressive approach of, hey, we're not going to wait for business owners to come to us. Let's proactively go out to the market and, start the conversation with every business owner that fits our criteria. So that's number 1, building this account list. Number 2 is going to actually be starting that conversation. So at scale, while remaining personalized and standing out from the competition, how do we start the conversation, right? How can we turn our outreach from talking to 20 business owners a day to keeping that same personalization and talking to 1,000 a day? Right? The more volume you have, the more predictability and the more, opportunities you're going to drive. Then step 3/4 is going to be scale and qualification. So, okay, after we get that initial traction, we're driving opportunities. How can we, number 1, scale this up to do more? And number 2, make sure we're only talking to qualified people. So it's all about building those systems. And then from there, you have a well-oiled machine that runs itself, that brings you opportunities every single day. So without further ado, let's dive into each one of these steps. So the great thing about company data is there are tools everywhere. And you don't need to only rely on that expensive high-ticket pitch book data, right? I recommend a lot of other tools for building these premium lead lists. Apollo, directly from LinkedIn. If you're going after blue-collar services, even Google Maps is a great one to start with. Getting creative and looking for niche databases can really separate you from the competition that's strictly reaching out to those pitch book companies. Because, pitch book could claim they have all the private data in the world, but that's just not possible. These are private companies, and the harder it is to reach them, the better. One of our best performing, campaigns was actually going after blue collar business owners. The reason being is a lot of this data is built off of LinkedIn. And a lot of these blue collar business owners don't live on LinkedIn. So what we were doing is we would scrape their company and go after their contact at emails. So for example, those email addresses where it's not the specific owner, but it's more, the generic team email or like the email you reach out to for inquiries. So we saw a lot of success by getting really creative in how we were reaching these businesses. Obviously, message is going to look differently if you're reaching out to the, general inquiries email rather than the specific, owner email. But that's just one way to get creative, and you don't have to spend tons of money on data. There's plenty of other solutions besides PitchBook for getting that data. If you do want to rely on PitchBook data without having a subscription, you can use websites like Fiverr or Upwork to get someone with an account to scrape you a specific list, and that's going to save you a lot of time. But highlighting another thing on private data is Anyone that tells you that they know the specific revenue numbers of a company, a lot of times it's impossible as these are private companies. So what I like to do is I like to segment companies that I'm reaching out to by employee size. Hey, let's assume that, let's say a SaaS with, 100 plus customers, their financials could be pretty healthy. So I like to go off of, employee size when distinguishing, what's a successful, healthy company at a higher revenue range. So I really like to start the conversation with companies that strictly have, over 50 employees, over 100 employees, and that's going to be specific to industries, right? With blue collar industries, like I said, teammates aren't always going to use LinkedIn, so that company count is going to be off, and you can use things like reviews. So if a company has over 1,000 reviews, could be, a distinguisher that this company is very successful and, driving those healthy revenue numbers. So that's what I got on building lead list. I can dive deep into how we do it specifically. Another great thing is if you have portfolio companies, you can use lookalike company list builders, meaning you input your specific company and it spits out a lot of different companies that are highly synergistic to them or very identical to them. And you can use tools like ocean.io for that. But without further ado, let's jump to messaging. So messaging has definitely been a separator between our firm and others. We have thousands upon thousands of data points on messaging, what works and what doesn't, and it's really helped us stand apart from the competition. So to start, I'll talk about PE firms, buy-side M&A, and how you can really stand apart. These business owners are flooded with general inquiries of people saying, hey, we want to buy your business. They hop on the phone, their time's wasted because it's an empty inquiry. So what we like to do is show the company that we've researched them, right? We're not just blankly reaching out to them. There's a reason behind why we've researched them, and we're leading with that. How do we do that? Personalized first line, followed by a line on why we would be interested in acquiring them or investing them or strategically partnering with them. Instantly, right there, that is going to set you apart from the competition, right? Leading with that reason on why we think it could be a good synergistic acquisition. So that right there is how we've seen a lot of success. And then the next logical question is, that must take a lot of time. So we've actually built AI workflows, trained it like an analyst or associate that does specific company research on them, ties it back to our buy-side partners' criteria, and reaches out with a very compelling message on why we're interested in acquiring them and, the synergies. So the great thing about automating this is instead of manually, sending 20 emails a day, we can send, 1,000 plus to highly relevant companies that are fantastic, that meet our criteria. And, we're booking, over 10 conversations a day or more with qualified, business owners that want to start that conversation. So that's on the buy side. And now let's go to sell side. So we also have significant testing on this. We see that a lot of investment bankers want to start the conversation with what they do. Hey, business owner, we have 32 years, and X amount in transaction volume. Are you interested in talking? We don't like that approach at all. The business owner is always going to care about market inquiries. So what I always recommend IBs is to start with market interest. Hey, we've been experiencing a lot of interest in the market for, throwing out a random company, mechanical engineering companies right now. I would be happy to have a discussion and, share some value around market insights and what we're seeing in terms of valuations right now in the market. Just for some more context, we help X business owners sell for the highest valuation to the right buyer. And here's a little bit more on our track record. So that really works, right? You're starting the conversation with a personalized line to them, showing that you've researched their company. You're moving into the specific market interest you've seen. And then third is more context about you and how you can help them sell for the highest valuation to the right buyer. Same process here, build that workflow, automate it, get it out to thousands of companies. And we've seen great success with that. We have a IB in the healthcare market, arguably the hardest market and most competitive market there is. We were driving them 70 plus qualified appointments per month with business owners. So, it's all about messaging and scale. Finally, let's talk about qualification and scale. So let's start with scale, right? Once we have messaging that works, it's all about scaling it up. How can we replicate the volume of 100 associates using AI? So like I said, that's been a big focus of our firm, implementing AI, and it's really, really, really helped us outcompete the competition. A lot of people with far greater track records than us, we've been able to outcompete just by willing it through high volume and fantastic outreach. That's going to outcompete them every single time. So it's all about scale. And once you have that scale, you're going to get a lot of interested prospects who the last thing you want to do is waste your time, on conversations that don't go anywhere, unqualified. So what we like to do after that is we like to, for specific companies, qualify for intent on selling. We like to make sure that it is on their horizon, if we could achieve their terms, that they would exit their company and not just someone who's kicking your tires, trying to get, valuation insights. So we love to do that via email, or even hire out a person who, takes these calls, who just, 10 minutes, learn a little bit more about their business, give insights to your firm, and really qualifies them so that you're only talking to relevant business owners that fit your criteria and have intent on selling. So that's how we do that. So to recap, in this tough market environment, there has to be a shift. There has to be a change in how you're sourcing deals. You have to take a proactive approach. You can no longer rely on referrals, because if you do, a firm like mine or other firms that we help, they're going to outcompete you. They're going to take your customers. So that needs to be established. I'm happy to have a conversation to discuss how we've been helping other companies and how we can help your company as well implement these systems. So feel free to send me an email at the email below, or go to my website and book a call directly. But anyway, going to be putting out a lot of videos on deal origination, on capital raising, and how you can make an automatable machine that really scales your firm. So please like, comment, subscribe, and see you in the next video.